Hey e-commerce marketing podcast listener, I wanted to let you know that we have created 16 e-commerce marketing videos for you. You can download these free videos by visiting eCommercemarketingpodcast.com/videos or by texting the word videos to +1 480 418 1411. These step-by-step video marketing tutorials will teach you how to drive more traffic to your e-commerce website, how to get more backlinks to your e-commerce website, and how to optimize your website to get more paid customers. Get the videos right now by visiting eCommercemarketingpodcast.com/videos or by texting videos to +1 480 418 1411. Welcome to the e-commerce marketing podcast. Today's guest is Karen Thaxton from marketingwords.com. Welcome to the podcast, Karen. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Today we're actually going to be talking about selling on Amazon and how you can use copywriting to generate more sales. But before we get into it, if you can just give us a quick background about yourself, marketingwords.com, and how you ended up focusing or teaching about selling on Amazon.
Sure. Marketing Words actually started in 1999, so we have been online for 17 years, which is shocking every time I say that. It doesn't seem like it's been 17 years.
Yeah, it is a long time.
And I started out originally in marketing and advertising, working at different ad agencies. And what I ended up loving the most out of the entire ad creation process was writing the copy. So when I decided to go into business for myself, that's what I wanted my business to focus on, was writing the words. And that's where our name comes from, Marketing Words. So after we had been online for some time, we do all sorts of online copywriting, from websites to landing pages to the ads for PPC campaigns for Google AdWords or Facebook or whatever, blog posts, pretty much any type of online copy. I had some clients that were manufacturers come to us and say, hey, we want to start selling on Amazon. Can you help us out? So in the beginning, it was trial by fire. And as Amazon added more information over the years, we began to pay attention and notice certain things and created our own special little way of doing Amazon product listings and Amazon keyword research, so that our clients were getting some very impressive results. And we had people that would say, I really want to learn to do it myself. And those requests resulted in an ebook that I created a couple of years ago that has been updated several times because Amazon is always tweaking and changing things. And the ebook is called Amazon Advantage: Product Listing Strategies to Boost Your Sales. And that little ebook has just taken off like gangbusters. And I love to get feedback from people saying that the ebook and the worksheets that come along with it have really helped them gain some awesome success with their Amazon business. So we don't teach people how to sell on Amazon. We teach them how to create awesome, compelling product listings so they can make more sales on Amazon. So if you're looking for someone to teach you the Amazon business, that wouldn't be us. But if you're already in Amazon's business and you're sending products in to be fulfilled, then this ebook is absolutely something that you should have.
Okay, Karen, thanks for clarifying and just giving us an overview. And also congratulations on being in business that long, especially online. through the bubble, there's a lot of ups and downs. The landscape is always changing, like you've said. Amazon, now Amazon is this huge market, and you're getting a lot of businesses getting in there trying to selling different products. And it's amazing just to see the growth and the evolution of the internet. And yeah, it's amazing even for you to be in business for that long and see all of that. So maybe that's another book you can write later.
Well, that would be a novel. That would That would take a long time to write.
Yes. So now let's get into it. So how do you use copywriting? How can businesses use copywriting, especially people who are selling on Amazon, to make the product stand out? How do you use copy to get sales?
The first thing that you have to remember when you sit down to write an Amazon product listing is that unlike people that would go to Google or Bing or even YouTube or any other type of search engine, the people that go to Amazon and start searching for things have a credit card in their hand probably 85% of the time, and they are on a mission to spend money right then. So if people are searching for silicone baking mat on YouTube, they're probably looking for demonstrations or ideas on how to use it. If they look for silicone baking mat on Google, maybe they're looking at the ways that it's manufactured or whether silicone is healthy for you or not, where they can buy them wholesale or something to that effect. But when somebody puts that search into Amazon's search engine, they have the intention of spending money. So that in and of itself changes how you're going to write a product listing. One thing that we see a lot of folks that have never created a product listing on Amazon before fall into is a trap of simply listing the standard features and benefits, which is great. But when you are competing in an enormous marketplace like Amazon is, you really need to be able to draw in those shoppers to your listing and help them visualize themselves actually using your product. So with our same example of the silicone baking mat, instead of saying lasts for years, eco-friendly because it isn't disposable, you'll reuse it for years, has a non-stick surface, so baked items and roasted items come off cleanly. All of these are features and benefits. But if you will help someone actually visualize himself using the product, and this is something that infomercials do really well. If you watch an infomercial, you'll see that they're doing constant demonstrations. They're showing you how to create recipes with the NutriBullet or whatever the infomercial is that you're watching, and they're giving you ideas. So by the end of that infomercial, you're thinking, wow, I really want to use this. If you can capture that same spirit in the copy that you're writing for an Amazon listing and do something to the effect of your homemade chocolate chip cookies will come off soft and gooey instead of broken and crumbly when you're using this silicone baking mat, or won't add to the pile up of unrecycled plastics because it's eco-friendly and lasts for years. Won't your husband's favorite or your favorite barbecued rib slide right off instead of being stuck with a sugary, gooey glue? Something to the effect of showing them through words that they're not going to have the trials and tribulations they might have had using something else. So that way they're picturing themselves, gosh, the last time I made ribs in the oven and had them on a regular metal baking sheet, it took me 20 minutes to try to scrape them off with a spatula. It would be so awesome if they just slid right off. Or I'm so tired of burning my grandmother's chocolate chip cookie recipe every time I use a metal pan. It would be nice if they came off soft and chewy and gooey instead of me having to break them apart to get them loose from the cookie sheet. So all of these types of things help people go, yeah, that's exactly what I need. And that's the type of copy that really converts well most of the time on Amazon. Every product is a little bit different and you have to tweak your approach accordingly. But generally speaking, helping shoppers to visualize themselves using your product really works well.
Okay, and can you actually apply the same principle of trying to get the customer to visualize as you're writing the title of the listing? Because when people do go to Amazon, they do searches and then you have this search results page where all these different products are listed. So does this same type of creative writing apply to the titles that can grab their attention?
No, and I'll tell you why. Amazon has a very strict set of rules and regulations, and they are frequently broken. You will see people that use that approach when they're writing titles on Amazon. And they'll get away with it for a little while. But as soon as it comes to Amazon's attention, they will actually delist that product and send a nasty email that says your product has been taken down until you write a title that complies with our terms of service. And there's in the Seller Central area of Amazon, there's a lot of information in there about writing titles and all of the rules and regulations, what you can do, what you can't do. And one thing that Amazon stresses is that what they deem as quote unquote marketing language, number one bestseller, that type of thing, with all of the marketing type of language that people would typically put in a title, that is not allowed. And in many places, Amazon will go so far as to say, we reserve the option to close your account if we find out that you are using this type of hype-filled language in your titles and in other area of your listings. So yes, you will still see a lot of that on Amazon, but it's usually short-lived. As soon as it comes to Amazon's attention, they take action.
Okay, so that's good to know, and that's good to point out and just make clear to the listeners. My next question was on keywords, but before we move on to the keywords, was there anything else that we failed to mention as far as the copywriting and the product listings?
Oh, yes. We only have 20 minutes, so there's a lot that we haven't said.
Yes. Yeah, I always try to record the podcast in 20 minutes and still provide a lot of value. The good thing is you do have your ebook and people can come to your website, Marketing Words, get the ebook for more details. But maybe we can mention maybe a couple more things before we move on to
absolutely.
the keywords.
So you said you had a question about keywords?
Yes, before we move on to the keywords, is there something else, maybe one last bit we can cover on copywriting and the product listings?
You have to balance what you write in your product listing between what Amazon says you can and cannot do and what you feel you want to do as far as the shopper is concerned. In order to do that, you have to first understand what Amazon requires of sellers. So if sellers have not gone into Seller Central and downloaded what's referred to as a style guide for the categories that they are selling in, that's one thing I would recommend that you do immediately. And you will probably be shocked at what you are allowed to do versus what people have been doing. And folks get so upset. Well, I saw somebody that did it this way, and Amazon said the title was only supposed to be 80 characters and theirs was 200 characters. I wouldn't worry about that. Our recommendation is that you create listings the way that Amazon says they should be created. The main reason is there are some pretty serious consequences if you don't. We've had several clients. There's one testimonial about this up on our website. We've had several clients that came back to us when they decided that they wanted to adjust the product listing that we created for them because they just knew Amazon wouldn't care if they did this thing or that thing or the other thing, and ended up getting the nasty email from Amazon saying that it's been taken down. And a couple of our clients did it with several listings of theirs, and Amazon was not going to reinstate their account because they had been sent emails about several of their product listings. So Amazon had them tagged as being abusive sellers, and they were finally able to get their account reinstated again. But Amazon is getting very serious about it. So that's one thing that I recommend. You may not like the rules, but it is Amazon's marketplace. So they have a right to say what you can and can't do. And our recommendation is always that you follow Amazon's rules and their terms of service.
Okay, Karen, thanks for mentioning that. Now we can move on to the keywords. So as far as keywords, how do you find the keywords that you can use on your product listings?
You can start out in a similar fashion to doing keyword research for Google. If you have access to Google's keyword planner and you like that tool, I'm not a big fan of it personally, you can use that to do some initial keyword research. However, keep in mind that Google is going to be a compilation of every type of keyword, and not just those that appeal to buyers, especially those that appeal to Amazon buyers. So one of my very favorite Amazon keyword research tools is Amazon.com. And just like Google, they have a drop-down menu when you do a word search, when you're typing in something to the big white box at the top of the Amazon page, you'll get suggestions that come up in a drop-down menu. Those are there because they are the most popular searches that people have done related to what you are currently typing in. So paying attention to what is coming up in that box is very important. There are also tools like FreshKey and SEO Chat that offer a tool that will allow you to type in a particular key phrase and it will go through Amazon. For example, if we go back to our silicone baking mat, it would go through and put silicone baking mat, and then it would automatically run through silicone baking mat, and it would put an A at the end of it. And then it would do silicone baking mat and put a B at the end of it. Maybe someone was looking for silicone baking mats in bulk to buy many of them. Silicone baking mat C, maybe for cookies or something like that. So it'll do all of that well, I won't say instantaneously, but within just a matter of seconds, 15 or 20 seconds. We'll do all of that for you. FreshKey, I want to say, is maybe $10 one-time fee, and the SEO Chat tool for Amazon keyword research is online and it's free. So it depends on what you're looking for.
Where do you find those? The SEO Chat, what website do you go to?
SEOchat.com, and you'll have to look in the tools section. The link is some awful, horrible dash equals question mark something something. So, but you can just go to SEOchat.com and look in their tools section, and they'll have it there for you. And FreshKey. Let me pull up a browser. That may freshkey.com. I saw a video on YouTube a couple of weeks ago that actually had that for $10. I don't know if that's the permanent price now or not. It's got a video that starts playing as soon as you get there.
Okay.
On the website it says it's $49.95. So search for FreshKey on YouTube first if you're interested in that, because I did see somewhere, it's been too long ago to remember, but I did see one where they had an offer to get it for $10.
Okay, but once you find all these keywords using those tools you've mentioned, do you just like how you optimize for Google and other search engines? Do you use those keywords in your product listings? Is there like a certain limit you should use? Where should you use them?
In Amazon, most things with Amazon keyword research are the complete opposite of Google keyword research. Amazon does not use exact match key phrases. The individual words within a phrase are all searchable on their own in any order. So those terms that you find need to go into the product name, the title, and also Amazon has specific search term fields in the Seller Central area when you set up a product, and your search terms need to go in there as well. You can sprinkle them around in your copy. It is not necessary to repeat keywords on Amazon. So if it's in your title, you don't need to put it anywhere else. If it's in your search term field, you don't need to put it anywhere else. It isn't a problem if you do. I mean, when you're writing copy, naturally you're talking about the product. So those search terms are going to come up in your bullet points and your product description naturally anyway, just because you're talking about a silicone baking mat. So you would have to say that at some point. But it isn't necessary to repeat it 3, 4, 5 times or what have you. One time gets it done, and you only need to put it in one place. You don't have to put it in all the different places.
Okay. And yeah, thanks for clearing that up. And the last question I had was as far as some of the common mistakes you've seen some sellers made. What are some common mistakes sellers should avoid when it comes to selling and with copywriting on Amazon?
One problem that I see sellers running into that create their own listings is thinking mistakenly that more copy is better, that a longer title will work better than a shorter title, that longer bullet points will work better than shorter bullet points. This is not true most of the time. Now, again, every single product listing is different, so there are exceptions to every rule. But as a general rule, you don't need to have 500 character bullet points. That's just too much in an e-commerce environment. People don't like to read when they're shopping online for things. So it's actually better to have the bullet points in an Amazon listing at somewhere between 80 and 200 characters. Amazon's preference is that you do 88 characters, and they are now in the process of going through and changing some of the category requirements so that bullets can only be 100 characters or less. They haven't done that in every category yet. Some other categories where I guess they feel more detail is beneficial might have a limit of 150 characters for bullets or 200 characters for bullets. But when you get too much copy on an Amazon product listing, it's difficult to read. And so people don't. They just skim very, very quickly, and they miss information that you may have put in there, and that can cost you sales. And something else that people don't understand is just what we were talking about a minute ago, the severe differences between Google keyword research and how to optimize a web page that is trying to rank well on Google, and Amazon keyword research and how to optimize an Amazon product listing. And they are, like I said, almost exact opposites with just a few exceptions. So before you begin to write a product listing, you not only need to get some training on how to creatively persuade people with your copy, but you also, as equally important, is to get some training on how to do Amazon keyword research and optimize an Amazon product page, because it is very different from doing it from Google. When people just jump in, we have a lot of folks that used to be eBay sellers, and eBay doesn't have all of these rules and regulations. You pretty much just put whatever you're going to put, and there you go. So when folks come over and they start copying eBay listings into Amazon and nothing happens, they don't rank well, their listings don't get seen, and when they start getting traffic, they don't convert. Part of the problem is they have no understanding of just how different Amazon is. It's its own different little world when it comes to selling, and it isn't like eBay, and it isn't like Google, and it isn't like anything else. So getting proper training is probably the best thing you can do to help ensure that the product listings you create rank high on Amazon, and that when you get traffic to those product pages, they actually convert lookers into buyers.
Thanks, Karen, for sharing all this information. I'm getting to understand Amazon, because usually Amazon is not a marketplace that I understand. I'm more on the software and more of the different shopping carts like the Shopifys and the eCommerces. I understand those more than I do Amazon, but I really appreciate you coming on the show, clearing all these things and just making it easy for me to understand. And I think the listeners do appreciate everything you've shared. For our listeners, how can they find you? What's your Twitter? And also, what's the name of the book again, the ebook that you have, and where are you selling it?
The ebook title is Amazon Advantage: Product Listing Strategies to Boost Your Sales. And you can find it on the Marketing Words site at marketingwords.com/Amazon book. marketingwords.com/Amazon book. And I would like to offer your listeners a 20% off coupon code. They can use the code AMZ20, and there's no spaces in that, AMZ20, and save 20% off if they decide to get the Amazon Advantage ebook. So that'll help it make it a little bit more affordable, especially for those who may be pinching pennies right now, trying to save a little bit of money as they invest in inventory for their Amazon businesses. I'm around on Facebook is the social media site that I'm on the most. And you can find us at facebook.com/marketingwords. And if people like Twitter better, I use my name on Twitter, and it's spelled KARON. T like Tom, HACKSTON. And they can find me at Karen Thaxton on Twitter.
Okay, Karen, again, thanks for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a great afternoon.
You too, take care. Thank you for listening to the e-commerce marketing podcast. Join the e-commerce marketing podcast Facebook group to learn, connect, collaborate, and grow with other e-commerce marketers at ecommercemarketingpodcast.com/FB. ecommercemarketingpodcast.com/FB. Subscribe to us on iTunes by searching for e-commerce marketing podcast, and please leave a rating and a review. Thank you for listening. See you next time.